Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a very entertaining story / post titled, Me, a 29-year-old female, was rejected by a 30-year-old male because of my past. Is this normal, and is this what I can expect? And guys, this story, just like the title says, all about a gal. She met this dude for a quick cup of coffee. Not officially a date, just a, quick, 20-minute cup of coffee. And they hit it off. But lo and behold, things eventually get back to the guy that she has quite the past. And you're going to see a little bit more as I get into it, because I want to reveal the real thing that really sets things off here. And essentially, he doesn't want to date her. And she has a complete and total meltdown. Freaks out at him, freaks out at other people involved in this story, as you're going to see, and can't get why this guy doesn't have anything to do with her, because again, she has quite the past, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt, the total classification of a carousel rider. And I thought this is a very good one to go over, guys, because this is what you guys can expect to become much more mainstream as time goes on. Because thanks to the feminist movement, pretty much telling gals that they have to be empowered, and of course with the S-word revolution, the typical gals nowadays in their teens, 20s, and 30s, and well, let's be honest, on all the way up, all behave in a certain way that definitely go against the traditional conservative type of gals that were more common back in the day, before the feminist movement, before social media, before dating apps, to really let the freak flag fly, if you will, to unleash the free spirits upon the world. And many are going to start to find there are going to be consequences to their past actions. You can see here, she doesn't think her past should be a problem. Guys do not want to be in relationships, let alone get really serious in terms of a marriage with a gal who's hooked up with so many dudes that could probably fill up Giant Stadium. I mean, it's a no-brainer here. And yet, these gals freak out about this and say, hey, it was in the past, shouldn't be a big deal, I'm a person. You guys get the point. So this is yet another example of this. And guys have every right to not want to be involved with someone that had a past like this. Eventually, there are consequences to actions. I mean, if we do something, guys, it's stupid. If we have a past, whatever that may be, we're accountable too. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to get into this. And you'll see a little bit more what I'm talking about. So get your beer, get your popcorn. You'll enjoy this one. So it starts off, she says, this absolutely blows. Interesting choice of words. I met this hella nice guy who was handsome beyond words, and I got to talking with him and we clicked instantly. We share some of the same hobbies, movies, hell, we even like the same sports team. We go grab coffee, and while it really wasn't a date, it was a nice get-to-know-you type of thing. I thought things were going stellar and going great. We even make plans to go on our first official date. The date goes off without a hitch, and more discussions were had. Come to find out, we both know a lot of the same people, and one of his close friends was a former friends with benefits of mine. And she puts in parentheses, long ago, haven't seen him in 2 years. Okay, so this actually, there was the coffee date, and this was the first real date. Okay, fine. My bad. Of course, I'm not an idiot, and I don't tell him how I knew the guy, but of course, I did say I knew him. Yeah, it wouldn't be a very good first date conversation. Say, oh, I know your really close friend. He was my friends with benefits. I've had his you-know-what in my mouth many a times. That probably wouldn't go very well over the entree. Well, obviously, after the date, he must have seen her talk with his friend, because he calls me to break off the plans for our next date and just basically tells me he doesn't see us being a good match. And let the fireworks begin. I call bullshit because I know both of us had a great time together, and there was just obviously chemistry. So finally he just admits that not only did his friend tell him about the two of us, he also told him about my past. When I was friends with this guy, which by the way I'm not now even going to be his friend at all because he obviously was never mine, we were both honest and open about it. It just being sex, and it was not exclusive. So long story short, this guy tells me that he's not interested in dating someone who had that past, and I wasn't going to change his mind. And he has every right. So here we go. This guy's really close friend was her friends with benefits. No guy wants to have his buddy, a potential girlfriend, who's hooked up with one of his close friends. And his close friend knows exactly what she's like, what she looks like butt naked, what she's like in the sack, her history. No guy, who would want that, right? Would she want to date one of her, would she want to date a guy who her best friend or one of her close friends with was rolling in the hay with? I think not. And I might add, it was revealed, as a good friend should tell him, that she has quite the history. And again, no guy, because remember, he's 30 years old and she's 29. And it's a possibility that he's in a stage in his life that maybe he's looking for future marriage material or just someone to be serious with. I don't know. They don't want that to put the ring on, to be the mother of their kids. Oh, no. But he's the bad guy in this situation. And something tells me that this isn't the first time this has happened to her, because she's 29. Remember, guys, and I know I'm interrupting the story, but this is a teaching channel as well. She's almost 30. What's the number all women fear, like you wouldn't believe? 30. Because they know once that 30 is connected to their name, they're automatically considered to be less desirable by guys, and that usually is the case. So they want to be on the way to the altar by 30 years old. It makes it a lot harder once that 3 is next to their name. So she's probably really trying to find her guy. And this guy ain't having it. And by the way, she, on the phone call, called bullshit. So she's obviously yelling at this guy, only giving him more good reason not to spend time with her, not to date her. Anyway, it goes on, says here, anyway, needless to say, I was less than thrilled. I mean, it's not like I thought I found a soulmate or anything, so basically I somewhat feel like I dodged a bullet. No, he dodged a bullet, honey. But on the other hand, am I now at the point in my life where guys are going to start judging me as a partner for things I've done in my past? Yes, they are. And guess what? If a man had a past of doing certain things, women would judge him too. Women will also judge if he has a six-pack, if he's about 6 feet tall, what his income is, all these other things there. If this guy was heavy into drugs in his past, but he's better now, a woman, I would assume, is going to judge for that, amongst many other things. But men can't. Guys don't want this. It's a big turnoff. Now, sure, everybody, you get to be 30 years old, and okay, I got no problem if a girl had different boyfriends over the years, and obviously with a serious boyfriend, romantic relationship, obviously had relations. But it's another thing if she was a pro carousel rider, and she was hooking up with other dudes while she was with this dude's friend, and hooking up with his friend. Not hard to see, but nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions. But this is a sign for the future, guys. These gals, the ones that are on OnlyFans, do all these shameful things on social media, amongst being the village bicycle, eventually it's going to come out. And they're going to lose boyfriends, they're going to lose fiancés, they're going to lose husbands. Guys don't want this. She goes on, I've dated around, define around, but I'll be honest, none of these guys were husband material, nor was I looking for one. But I'm now at a point in my life where I like to see if there isn't someone out there that I can make a life with. What I tell you about almost 30 years old, now she's looking for her guy. Carousel rider in the past, and it's almost like a born-again virgin type of thing. Like, oh, that was my past, never mind, no big deal. But notice she said here that none of the guys were husband materials. Translation, I was riding the carousel with Chad and Tyrone up until not too long ago, but now I'm washed clean of my ways, born again, and now I'm ready to find that good guy, that nice guy. Doesn't work that way. I mean, well, it does. That's usually how things go, but it doesn't work that way if the guy finds out about her past. So, is someone's past enough to make you bail on a potential relationship? Yes, honey. She says, now a little update. She says, I'm not sure what to call it. I just got off the phone with my ex-friends with benefits and now ex-friend. So she couldn't let this go. She had to go call that guy to find out what he said. I decided I was not going to let this stand and wanted to know what he told him. At first, he tried to paint an innocent picture about what he said about me, but once I pushed, he finally relented and said that he told him that he and I had, multiple times, and that I was with multiple guys while I was with him. So this friends with benefits, this guy's buddy, wasn't enough, so she had multiple dudes on the side. He had every right to tell his friend this. Of course, the guy I was wanting to be involved with was horrified by this. Yeah, I would be too. He said that he has known this guy for a long time and that under no circumstance would I be the type of girl he would want to be with. Oh, that probably pissed her off. This made me flip my shit. What type of girl am I? We argued a few more minutes until basically I decided this was going nowhere. He told me that the guy will never be interested in me and that I need to just move on. I'm going to do that, by the way. Freak the hell out. Instead of saying, okay, yeah, I was pretty wild back then, and okay, fine, this is what it is. Instead, she's going to lash out at the guy that rejected her, lash out at the guy that warned his friend, which a good guy friend would do. They're the bad guys, not me. It was the past. So to recap, my former friend is an asshat. Apparently, I'm not worth a good guy touching, and now I'm back to looking for someone else. That's the end of her story and her rant. Now I'm going to say a few things, and I'm going to read some fun comments here. But again, right then and there, this is a sign of what's yet to come. Because remember, as more guys are waking up and realizing reality, more guys are taking the R pill. They're realizing, I don't want this. More and more guys are realizing, you know what, I'm going to take a step back from the dating and relationship and chasing ass. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to try to get a better job, better higher position, get in shape, work out my body, learn a lot of things, better myself. These guys are going to feel better about themselves, and they're not going to waste time with gals like this. And maybe when they were younger and weren't working on themselves would have taken because they figured this is as good as it's going to get. So you're going to have a whole ton of gals out there that have been wild and crazy because that's what an empowered gal in the 2020s does, and realize they can't get guys. And who's going to be to blame? Who's going to be at fault here? Not the ones that were in varying degrees making disgraces of themselves. They'll blame the guys. And this is exactly what you're going to get. You know, that guy had every right to tell his friend about her and her past, and that guy had every right to reject her. And this is a sign of what's yet to come. So, here's a few comments. One guy said, this is from a woman. I'm going to have some people that are going to be disagreeing with her, and some people that are going to be agreeing with her. So the first one is someone agreeing with her. This is a woman. This woman says, seriously, what's the deal with all the SLUT shaming in this thread? OP, if a guy wants to miss out on getting to know you now because of your past, then that may be his loss. My boyfriend slept around a lot in his younger years, but that has nothing to do with the relationship he and I have now. It should be no different when gender is reversed, and you can find a guy that understands this. Yeah, good luck, honey. The only guy she's going to find that will understand this is a guy that either has no options and will take what he can get, or a guy that maybe he was into the same lifestyle, maybe he doesn't care. But good luck there. But notice the girls defending her and making guys out to be the bad guys. And by the way, she said that her boyfriend slept around a lot too in his younger years, and basically she doesn't care. Well, here's the deal. The difference is for, I'm sure many of you guys have observed this. The Chad and Tyrones, the bad boys that hook up with every girl in town, once those girls find out that this guy has quite a reputation, they want a piece of that too, because they see he is a in-demand guy. He's sought after. Now, this doesn't mean every single gal is going to do this, but a lot do. So for her, in a weird way, it's a badge of honor because she got the guy that every girl wants. See what I mean? But no guy wants the gal that every dude in town has placed his mark upon, because to him, that's not a badge of honor. To the guy, the lower the number, is the badge of honor. Now next one's from a guy. This guy says, I'm sure you got a lot of answers here you don't like or want to hear. I'll give you one that should probably be easy to accept and is likely the true reason. Men don't want to date a girl that has banged their best friend. They're going to be hanging out with the two of them a lot. And even if jealousy doesn't come into the picture, awkwardness will. And he's saying in quotes, my friend tells a story about a girl he used to bang. Is it my girlfriend? I wonder if she liked the sex with my friend better. Are they ever going to talk about their relationship when I'm around or when I'm not? Right. I wouldn't want to be dating a girl or in a relationship with a girl that my buddy years earlier was doing Lord knows what with. Not going to work. Another one, this is from a guy. He says, meh, you never know what's really going on. For example, maybe he and this ex-friends of benefits of yours have known each other since grade school, and the ex-friends of benefit has a history of effing the girls that he wants, and he got emotional baggage about that and doesn't want to go into a relationship where he has to deal with it all over again. Who knows? It is his life, dude. Everybody's going to have their deal breakers. You're not always going to agree on them, but it doesn't matter. It's theirs. It's better to know earlier than later. Okay, you never know. Another one, this is a guy. Guy says, I disagree. People are allowed to have preferences. It goes both ways. I've had women turn me down for my S-word history and vice versa. Some people would prefer dating someone who is a chast than promiscuous. Nothing wrong with it. More so, it's not like this dude called the OP a cum-guzzling HORE, unfit to even look at his dick. He did it in a pretty amicable way. It's just a person who wanted a different type of person. There you go. So back to my theory. My guess is, if I was a bet man, I'd say this isn't the first dude that's rejected her because of her past. One way or another got up. Because the way she... And by the way, this guy actually called her on the phone. He was decent enough to call her on the phone and say, it's not going to work, no second date, whatever. He could have texted her, he could have ghosted her, but he called her, which says he has some class. And she bullshit and yelled at him and freaked out. That tells me this is not the first time. Then she goes and contacts that ex-friend's benefits and yells at him too. Well, this is something she can expect. So guys, you have every right. For you guys who are dating relationships, you find out if a gal has a type of history that you don't like, is definitely going to make you cringe when you think about it, you have every right to break up with her. It's your business. Do not let anybody try to make you feel bad like you're some kind of big jerk or anything like that. It's your life, your choice, okay? And because let me tell you, the gals, they have far less reasons they'll break up with guys for and rip their heart out and kick them to the curb in a heartbeat over far less and not care. And I might add, guys, that if you, girlfriend, fiance, even wife, find out something about your wife and not going to work, do what you want to do. And do not listen to people that, because there's always going to be somebody, family, friends, coworkers, her family, her friends, they're going to make you feel guilty for your decision. If your gut tells you something's wrong, listen to your gut. Do not let anybody else tell you or make you feel guilty or pressure to go against what you want. If something about her you don't like, about her past, okay, move on. Because also, if there's something about, flip the situation, girl's dating a guy and she finds out stuff about his past and it's warranted and gut tells her not going to work, she has the right to break up with that guy too. It's fair both ways. But this is something you're going to see more and more of going forward. I'll probably start having more and more articles and stories when the gal has a meltdown over this because the guy rejects her because of her past. And you guys will get a very good laugh about that. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let's hear it. Was this guy in the right? Was this guy's buddy right for telling his friend this? Warning her. I think so, but I'd like to hear your opinion about this. Did she have a right to have a meltdown over this? Let's hear what you all think. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.